We all kind of saw it coming, but it's official. Comic-Con 2020 is postponed. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
All right, so why does this even matter anymore? What is it? This is terrible news today, honestly. It's devastating, especially because I had the feeling that this is starting to turn around. But before I get into all that, let me just give you a quick reminder. You can, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. Also, follow my Facebook page, Super Dario World. Subscribe on YouTube, all that stuff. If you want to continue voting on the Marvel Madness tournament on Rock 105.3, I believe round three closed today, so you can start voting on round 4. It's the Super 8, only the 8 left. I haven't even checked it yet today. I'll check it out later, and I'll put in I'll wait for my votes later. But yeah, you can start voting on the next round. So, bad news. Really, really bad news for San Diego. So, it's been official. Comic-Con 2020 has been quote-unquote postponed, but basically it's been canceled. Now it's been postponed all the way to 2021. So it means canceled, but I don't know why. I don't know why most events have been saying postponed when what they mean is canceled. But I guess they want to give people hope for the future. But anyway, the statement basically says, "It is with deep regret that there will be no Comic-Con in 2020. Extraordinary times require extraordinary measures, and while we are saddened to take this action, we know it is the right decision. We eagerly look forward to the time we can all meet again and share in the community we all love and enjoy." This is from a Comic-Con spokesperson, David Glanter. I have no idea who that is. The event was supposed to take place on the final weeks of July, 23rd to 26th, and now it's been postponed to July 22nd to the 25th. Of 2021. Now, this is brutal for many reasons. I mean, anybody, if you're in the entertainment business, if you're into, movies, video games, comic books, all that stuff, it sucks. For San Diego, it's brutal. It's a brutal hit for the local economy because it's the 1 week a year where the world converges around San Diego. San Diego is pretty much the center of the entertainment world, and it's a major boom for the local economy now, and it's one that's particularly convenient for anything. It's great for the entertainment business. It's great for the hospital. It's great for travel. It's great for transportation. It's great for all the local restaurants. It's great for everybody. It's last year we had over 135,000 people that attended Comic-Con. It's kind of a big deal. It's a really big deal, and so it sucks. It's brutal. It's the most devastating blow the city could have gotten, but. And it sucks because it's still over 2 months away. I mean, we're still, in April? April 14th? You still got May, June, most of July, 3 months away. And so for them to say this right now, it means that, honestly, I'm not sure what it means because the data that I'm seeing from one side does not match up with this. I guess that putting 135,000 people in the same spot in 3 months, it just doesn't seem doable for them, or it doesn't seem smart, which I can understand. But at the same time, it's like, do they think that these things are going to continue in California? Do you think that the lockdown is going to continue that long? I don't. It doesn't make any mathematical sense to me, and especially because they could have done, just basically less people. I mean, maybe they were like, all right, it won't be financially viable for us, but at this point, like, the Comic-Con would have been a great boost for a bunch of industries that I just mentioned that have taken a serious hit. And I mean a serious hit. So even if they said, all right, okay, instead of 100,000 this year, it would only be 50,000. So or half. Or you know what? Even 25,000, like a quarter. It still would have been like really great for all these industries. All of them. Especially, because it's when the entertainment business showcase all this stuff. And like I said a few podcasts ago, only the people who actually who are not in a demographic where they're in danger should go. Like, you take your life in your own hands. You make your own choices. Like, I was reading a whole bunch of stats And the numbers are crazy. Like in New York, they have over 10,000 deaths, but under the age of 45, only 29. Well, if under the age of 45 and with no other pre-existing conditions, only 29. So if you're under 45 and don't have any pre-existing conditions, your odds of dying are under 0.0%. 0.0, what is it? Like 1%, right? I don't understand it. I guess the fear is spreading it out for all the people who are, let's say in danger, but just don't hang out with those people, right? It's pretty simple. I haven't seen my grandparents in a very long time, but we talk we did a FaceTime thing the other day. We talked on the phone. It's not that hard. Just stay away from people who are high risk. So it sucks. I mean, I take it kind of personally because for the last couple of years I've been working Comic-Con and it's been fun. It's the highlight of my year. You get to, and every year they've been giving me more responsibilities, giving me more access. So it's been a lot of fun. But so that's the personal part for me. Also, I mean, I attended whenever I could, just as a fan, because I'm a big fan for most of the things from Comic-Con. If you've been listening to the podcast for any length of time, you should know this. But it's most like it's more the local hit, and also that it's sending a very bad sign to people who are, let's say, like me, and thinks that this thing should be opening up soon. Like, I read a study that I found very interesting, and this one came from the Netherlands, and apparently they've been doing antibody testing in the Netherlands, and they did it randomly, and through this test, they discovered that 3% of their population already had the antibody for the coronavirus. What does that mean? 3% of the population. So, to put it in simple numbers, the Netherlands has 18 million people. 3% of 18 million people is 510,000 people, right? 500,000. So 500,000 people have the antibody for this thing. You know how many confirmed cases of coronavirus they have in the Netherlands? Confirmed? It's about 30,000, all right? 30,000 confirmed cases, and they've discovered via study, I mean, it was random, but if they spread it out, they estimate that there's 110,000 people that already has the antibody, right? So, let's say they're wrong by half. That's still 250,000 people that have the antibody versus 30,000 confirmed cases, which means that it's still, well, if we're sticking with the 500,000, 17 times greater. So a lot of people didn't even know they were sick. For every one person that was sick, 17 people didn't even know that they were sick. So they already have the antibody. So it's honestly, they're just in their house poking their eyes out for no reason. And you know what happens with this type of information? It gets out. And you know what happens when that information gets out? People get restless and they start doing protests and stuff, which is what's happening in several parts of the country. Now, protesting, is it a good idea? Nah, as long as you social distance and you're wearing gloves and stuff, sure, why not? Who doesn't like a good protest? But does this mean that we should have not canceled Comic-Con? No. Honestly, if you're playing it safe, okay. I understand having to play it safe, but it's still, I think they did this way too early. And I mean way, way too early. 3 months away. I get it. Comic-Con takes a really long time to plan, and you need a lot of things to prepare. You need a lot of things to confirm. If I have to guess, I'm assuming that a lot of there was a lot of companies that were saying, yeah, we're not sending anybody. We're not spending money on that this year. Where there's no point, it might be canceled. So they were probably just canceling, and or at least some of the big ones, like maybe Disney was like, yeah, nah, like we're losing so much money this year that it's no point. Although, I mean, Disney has their own event, so I don't really understand. I don't know. I'm guessing that's how it happened, and they're like, all right, let's just pull the plug now. The good news here is that for next year, they have to come back with a bang. Like, they have to come back with a bang. It's just going to suck for the local economy. It's a hard blow. It's maybe the hardest blow that San Diego can take, but I don't know. I don't know what this means. Maybe this will be like the kick in the pants that we need for local government to start being like, all right, no, we need to start opening things up again. We need to get the economy moving. Those of you who are high risk, if you're over 45 and have an underlying condition, stay home or just, avoid people. I don't think you have to force people to go to work if they're in a demographic where they don't feel comfortable. But this actually should motivate the whole testing of the antibodies thing. That's the biggest thing. We need to know how many people out there have it here in the U.S. That's the biggest thing. That's honestly the most important piece of information, because right now, as far as I understand, as far as I know, it's like 700 or like around 700,000 people in the U.S. have this thing, right? 700,000. So let's try to do the same estimate that they did in the Netherlands. So if 3% of the population here in the U.S. also already has the antibody in a country of 300 million, that means that 9 million people should already have the antibody. If everything's the same and numbers are the same. Now, again, let's assume that they're wrong by half. That means that 4.5 million people have it, which is still 7 times more than the actual confirmed numbers right now. Which, if you remember what I talked about on my other Corona podcast, is in line with for every one person that's confirmed to have it, 7 people out there have it, and they don't even know. They don't even have the symptoms, or they already have the antibodies. 1 out of 7, right? So, or for every one that actually has to go to the hospital, 7 don't, and they don't even know. So, it's just, again, I don't see this being sustainable. The more and more numbers we see, the more and more numbers come out, the more and more information we have, the more people are going to be like, this is bullshit. I can't be at home anymore. I can't lose my livelihood. I can't keep losing stuff over these types of numbers. Like, I don't see why. I don't know why. I understand why they say you open up by region, you open up a little by little. Honestly, I would have done it by age. To me, that's like the biggest thing. Do it by demographic. All right, if you're inside this age group, this demographic, and you have no underlying conditions, then go about normal. Just social distance a little bit. Wear gloves. Wear a mask, and don't see your grandparents. Go out. You'll most likely get it, but it won't affect you. And if you do, you'll probably survive the hospital. You'll probably will. In fact, you may not even have to go to the hospital, but it won't kill you. And you'll get immunity afterwards. And so you'll develop herd immunity, which is what they've done in Sweden. So maybe that's the way to do it. That's how I would do it. But that's because you're giving people the choice to do it. It's like, all right, you take your life in your own hands. You choose. Every single case is different. It's not up to the government to pick and choose what you're going to do. All right? It's not their job to go and study every single person. No, it's like, all right, here's the information. You can do whatever you want with this information. This is what we recommend. You do whatever you want. Now, you can impose some rules for the people who are most at risk, or you can be like, all right, if you go out there and then you just decide to go hang out at an old folks' home, then there will be serious consequences, because you're basically just going out there to try to kill old people, which is not cool, or infect them. But other than that, I mean, at what point do you believe that people don't want to kill themselves, right? That they know what's best for themselves. I don't know, but this is not sustainable. More numbers come out, the more that I'm like, none of this makes any sense anymore. It made sense at the beginning, doesn't make sense anymore. The more people I talk to, the more unhappy they are, the more on edge they are. Like I said, protests have already started to spark out. There's been looting in certain places. Riots will probably be next if this keeps going. I don't think we're going to reach that spot, because I think that the U.S. is going to be opening up very, very, very soon, at least most of it. But we'll see. Like the areas that they can, we'll see. The only thing that matters right now is the antibody testing. That's what we need to do. That's what we should focus on. And I have no idea why we're not doing it more. Maybe lack of resources, but who knows? I don't know. They don't ask me about these things, so that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, it just sucks. It was bad news. It was bad news all around, because I think that they canceled this way too soon. They threw in the towel way too soon, way too early. If I would have been like I said, I don't know the underlying conditions. They probably had a bunch of people pull out. They were trying to. I mean, the Comic-Con tickets are expensive, so there were a lot of people probably asking for refunds and stuff like that. So they had the reasons. I'm going to trust that they had the reasons. It's just a huge, huge blow for San Diego, and it just sucks because I know a lot of the people who work downtown. I used to work downtown. Most of their money they made, they made a lot of money during this particular week of the year. So it just sucks. It sucks. Anyway, sorry to end in a downer this week, but it came down today, and it came down late. But any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at Super Dario World. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.